Alright, so we are going to do some oil pastel techniques here today. We're going to start off with our paper, and you're going to write at the top, oil, pastel, techniques. And then you're going to put your name and period over there. Sorry, this is blurry and I don't know why. Alright, we're going to start off with our ruler. So we have this ruler, and I'm going to zoom in some. So as you can see here, we are going to draw around the number 3. So what we do is we have our ruler here. We draw around the ruler from the 3-inch mark. If it goes up to 12, you're on the inch side. And then we draw a line down. And we're going to label this one color to white. Next one down. Going around again. We're going to label this one color to color. Next one down. If you need to at any point, pause, slow this down. Next one is color to color to color. Our fourth box, again drawing around from the 3, is going to be a technique called scumbling. S-C-U-M-B-L-I-N-G. The fifth box on this side, again, drawing around the 3, drawing around from the 3. And this last technique is called sgraffito. S-G-R-A-F-F-I-T-O. You're going to move up here, using your space from the 3 again. Draw around. And this one is going to be color to color with pattern. Next one is specific for this project, for these projects that we're practicing for. It's going to be labeled beetle blending. And these last 2 are ones that you need to do on your own. We're not going to follow along with my video, but they're repeats of some of the others that we've already done. So, it's going to be second scumbling. Can't spell. And second color to color to color. So it's a 3-color one. So we're going to use our oil pastels. These are not the ones that we have for the project, but they're the ones we have in class. They work really well. If you need to clean off your oil pastels, having a paper towel available is a really handy way to make sure that they stay clean. One of the ones you want to make sure always stays clean is your white, because that will transfer color to everything else. So you're going to need white starting off. And you want to pick a color that is not super light, somewhat dark. I'm going to go with a red here. And I'm going to start over here on this here side. I'm going to start with fairly thick and hard pressure. And then as I go over, I'm going to ease up on that pressure to the point that I'm barely touching it. I'm going to come in with my white and start coloring over. And it starts to blend it. My hand's in the way to see that blending, but it'll blend. You'll show here. Just a moment. There. I'm going to go back over it with my red to just get that blend in there just a little bit smoother, so a little bit more even. I'm going to go back one more time with my white over the top. And there we go. We have it blended. But as you can see on my white here, it picked up all that red, so I'm going to wipe it off because I need to make sure that it's nice and clean for the other parts that I need to do things for. This next one is a color to color. Please understand that pink and green do not go well together. Even the seafoam green, that's not going to be really awesome. If you want to do pink with a color, let's do blue. So you can choose any colors you want. I'm going to start over here with the heavy pressure and ease up on my pressure as I go over. I am then going to take my next color and start with light pressure. And then make it heavier over here. I'm going to come back in here with my light color, my pink this time. And I'm going to blend it. Not the world's greatest blending colors, but they work. And I have my blend. I'm going to go over here, add a little bit more to make it blend together. There, it's a little better. Oh, I meant to do it with the pink, not the white. My bad. So that's how you blend those two colors together. The next one is going to be a 3-color blend. So we want to pick out 3 colors that are not so totally different from each other, but still work well. So we're going to go with, we're actually going to do a blue. We'll just do 3 blues. A light, medium, and dark. So same blue that we had just used a moment ago. Sorry, I just dropped my glasses on the ground. Not that you need to know that, but I'm telling you anyways. So we're going to start off here with our lightest color. And I'm going to start with heavy pressure. And ease up, going lighter in my pressure. And then I'm going to start on with my light pressure here. Going to heavier pressure. And again, going over to lighter. And then with my darker color, starting with lighter. I'm going over into darker. Right now, I have kind of a not as good blend. But by going back over it with my color again, blending in those areas, I start to get a much nicer blend than I had just a moment ago. Just by going over a second layer and blending those colors together. That gives me a really nice blend. We're going to be doing a 3-color scumbling for the next one. I'm going to use the same colors because it works really well. And scumbling is kind of like a scribble. So I'm going to scribble over here. And then I'm going to go over it with my medium color. Note, I have some white gaps in there. And then I'm going to go over with my dark color. I'm going to go over a little bit again with my other colors just to fill in some of those spaces. But I have lots of white in here, so I'm going to do in a circular motion, filling in and blending with the white to get those colors, that white not so much showing the white paper. And by going in circles, I'm not making streaks everywhere. I'm still blending in my colors and filling in all those extra blanks that I had in there that I don't want. To make it more vibrant again, I just go back over more scribbles on top of those colors to add the color back in. You will need to use this here technique for the beetle project if you do that in the Art Tactile. But that is scumbling. The sgraffito is a really cool technique. You need to have yourself a light color and a darker color. So in this case, I'm going to go with a really light yellow. I'm going to color in the whole thing. I'm using pretty hard, so medium to hard pressure, wanting to cover the whole thing nicely. There we go. And then I'm going to go over it with my darker color. You want to have that contrast in colors. If you don't have that contrast, it's not going to work for this. So colors that aren't super, super close to each other. So I have gone over, and I am going to be using a mechanical pencil. And by just going over it, and we're going to write sgraffito, S-G-R-A-F-F-I-T-O. You can write any word or draw anything so long as it's school appropriate, but this is a great technique for making patterns in things. All right, the next one that we're going to do is we're going to do a color to color with pattern. So I'm going to start off with my light blue over here, easing up on my pressure right there. And then I'm going to go, I went with a really dark blue and that's okay, to my dark blue right there. And I'm going to go over here and blend it in a little bit more. So there is my oil pastel pressure, my 2-color blend. I want to now add some patterns on there. So I have a pink here, that's what I'm going to use. You just go over the top. Certain colors will look better on certain colors, as you can see here. That did not show up very well at all. Let me go harder, see if it works better. It shows up a little bit. Not great. If you saw it in person, you could actually see it. So you can use just about any pattern you want. It doesn't matter. But it does work. Let's see. Oh, here, this one works better. So you can see this one better in the video. Maybe not. It looks better in person, like I said. Anyways, you're doing the patterns over it so you have the different colors. All right, for this next one, you need multiple colors. So we're going to go with, I'll show you several different colorways. So we're going to go, here's a peach, a pink, here's a salmon pink, a dark pink, and then a purple. That's one colorway. Another one is having this light green, seafoam green, blue, teal, cobalt, a dark blue. And then you could also do greens and yellows. It's up to you. So you could always do yellow, or yellow, orange, orange, red, orange, red. Actually, I would do orange, red, then dark red. So in fact, that's the color combination I'm going to use here to show you guys. You just need those, but you need all those colors plus a white. So you have to have all of that together. It just depends on what you want to do for how you want it to look. Any of those colors that kind of are in that same segue of colors and blending, that's going to be what you need to do for this. You are going to need to make sure that your white is nice and clean, so that it's all not all jacked up and all that good stuff. So for this, we're going to start off with our lightest color possible, and I'm going to do kind of a, I don't know, scribble there. That's going to be my line. I'm next going to come in with my next darkest color and go next to it. I am not coloring over the top. I'm coloring next to it. That's really vital for this to understand. I'm going to come in with my next darkest color, which is my orange. But this time I'm going to put it next here, the yellow on this side. Note, I have white spaces in there. You want that. Then I have my red. And again, I know that it looks like I'm scribbling, and it is kind of scribbling. Kind of is. Kind of isn't. And then here I am with my darkest maroon color on the edges, getting in there. One thing I want you to note especially is that you are not drawing over the other colors in the traditional sense of blending. I'm now going to use my white to get all those little spaces in there that are going to be blended together. I could have used a really light yellow too. That might have made it look better. It's up to you how you want to do it. But going through and blending these here together so that they work really nicely gives you everything you want to keep somewhat defined areas. You can always go back in and add some more definition with your colors, but keeping them so that they're kind of separate, that's going to be the key. So for these last two, you need to do a second scumbling. So just like we did here, 3 colors, different from this one. And then you need to do a second color to color to color, different colors again, and then you'll be done with the project. You can take a picture and turn it in. That's how it works today.